Welcome back to another episode of On a Mission. I'm your host, Dr. Wendy Norfleet with Norfleet Integrated Solutions, and it's my pleasure to have with me today a retired naval officer, Reuben Green. Welcome, Reuben.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Thank you. So, Reuben, most people that come on the show is either representing an organization or a company, and you're a little bit different, but you had an exciting career. So first of all, tell us a little bit about your career and then what prompted you to write your book.
Okay, well, I joined the Navy in 1975, shortly after. I was in boot camp when the Vietnam War, when Saigon fell.
Oh, okay.
So my father was in the Navy and his father was in the Army, so I come from three generations of military people. But I joined the Navy because I wanted to become a naval officer. And I knew it would take me a while because I was a high school dropout when I joined the Navy. Mm-hmm. And I got an A school right off the bat, became a mineman, graduated number 2 in my class, and then put together a bachelor's degree while I was on active duty, and then went to officer candidate school in 1984. So from 1984 into 97, I served 4 consecutive sea tours, 3 as a department head, and then I went to my first shore duty in 95.
Okay, wow. And so you actually went through the whole military. You stayed past your 20 years?
I did 22 years.
I was going to say, it sounded like you said past your 20 years. Mm-hmm. Okay, so first of all, thank you for your service. And obviously you had experiences within the Navy that you want to share with others. Mm-hmm. And so I guess that prompted your book, Black Officer, White Navy.
Right.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I wanted to share what it was like going through the military as a minority, and it could have... my book could have been written by anybody that served in any branch of the services, mm-hmm. because there was a lot of turmoil there, a lot of cultural issues, a lot of resistance to affirmative action, and diversity is what they would call it now. But I wanted to show what it would like being one of just a few minority officers in an organization or whatever, because I had some great leaders and I had some not so great leaders. So I wanted people to be able to look to my experiences and how I handled situations and figure out how they could handle those situations. I also wanted leaders to know that their minority service members may be facing challenges that they aren't aware of and that they're not willing to come forth and share. So I laid out a roadmap from boot camp to retirement. I retired as an 04. Wasn't in zone for 05 yet, but I was a lieutenant commander. I wanted people to see at every step of the way some of the things I had to deal with.
Wow. And what you said about good and bad leaders, I think everybody faced that, right. Both good and bad leaders. And so when did you write the book?
I wrote the book in 2017.
Okay.
And I took the title from a book called Black Sailor, White Navy, which was written by a historian. And it was about the Vietnam War experiences of racial unrest, particularly several ships where there was unrest on several ships. One was the Kitty Hawk, one was the Hassayampa. There was a book that just came out last year, called Against All Tides. And it was about the Kitty Hawk situation, mm-hmm. and the 21 sailors that were taken to court-martial. And it really laid bare how those people were not treated properly and mistreated. And the gentleman who wrote that waited 50 years to write the book, and I'm glad he did, because it helped me understand some of my father's experiences and experiences of other sailors that have written about what happened during that time period.
Yeah, those experiences are valuable, especially as people go in. A lot of people... history helps us understand the present. Absolutely. And the future. Absolutely. And so why don't you hold your book up so everybody can see the title? And this book is no longer in print. So this is a limited edition, but you are working on the revised edition, correct?
Yes. University Press of Kentucky contacted me and asked me to acquire my book. And I thought about it for a year, and then I contacted them and asked them if they were still interested in it. And they said yes, so I signed a contract with them. I had to reduce this version to about half of the word count. And I took out a lot of the history because my story was woven around the historical events that happened.
But they just want the historical
events. They
events.
want just my story,
your story,
and as it relates to the Navy. So I submitted that in December. So sometime this year, they should be coming out with a new edition of Black Officer, White Navy, revised edition.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. So if, there's a lot of historians out there. There's a lot of people who love reading about, different military books and things like that. If they want to reach out to you, maybe to ask questions, maybe, even read it and, find out when the next publication date is, how do they do that?
I'm on LinkedIn. I'm not on any other social media.
Okay.
But I'm on LinkedIn, Reuben Green, former naval officer.
Okay.
And I also have a questionnaire on my profile page for people that are interested in telling stories of veterans. They can take that 2-page questionnaire and use that as a guide to write about their own career or to interview someone about their career.
Oh, that's great.
And I've also written stories for Liberty Life Media. I was featured in an AP 3-part series about discrimination in the military, and I wrote an article on renaming the USS John C. Stennis that the Navy forwarded to Congress as part of their Navy ship conventions. So I'm very active on LinkedIn, but I don't do any other social media.
That's enough. You just need to be active on one, so you don't have to be on all of them.
I'm waiting for the vaccine to get perfected before I do any of the other ones.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and we're all looking forward to your next edition.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us today. To reach out to Reuben Green, please go to LinkedIn. It is Reuben Green, former naval officer. And we'll see you next time on Buzz TV.